Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Of course, by the title, going first, Sky Strikers again, with some deck changes and some cool ideas that I got from someone else. Um, my tournament one was 4th place, and my one loss was to Jerry Han, who is an incredible duelist, and I'm so glad I got to duel him. It was the experience and seeing how he played with his deck, and how he was able to outgrind and how to actually bounce around with some things. The guy's a great duelist, so I'm glad I got to duel him, and I can see what top tier looks like. That aside, my tournament loss in tournament 2, which is round 2, placed me in 6th place, was to Exodia Mystic Mine. Now, that's kind of trouble because my deck is meant to fight the meta and try and win against the meta, so going against a rogue deck kind of threw me off for a second, so I was able to win round 1, but then round 2 I fell short, and then round 3 I decked out. So it's not too bad of a thing. I actually like it, I think, and it's kind of making me try and realize what I need to run. But other than that, I did pretty well, I think. There's in the deck profile, you're going to see some pink sleeves. That's because I haven't been using this exact deck profile since this first tournament, pretty much. And during the second tournament, I did change out one card that was Mystic Mine for an extra Ash Blossom. But that aside, I'm going to be taking this deck profile that I have right now, which you will not be able to see because I have 5 cards out, and I have not topped with this exact build. That's why I'm not showing them yet, because I don't want to give anyone any false information, but I also like to keep my secrets until I know I'm good with it. Regionals will be coming up this Saturday, which is 3 days for me. I'll be posting my video on records and talking about it, see how well I did, and to give some props and ideas to anyone else. Now, with that aside, we're going to go into the deck profile, and if you have any ideas on deck advice, please shoot me a comment, and I'll respond to you as soon as I can. So, aside that crappy transition, we will continue with the deck profile. So, obviously you got 3 Sky Striker Ace Ray. This is always important, and you always want Ray. If you're going to play Sky Strikers, and especially a purish build, you want to run 3 Ray. For this exact build, which I placed top 4 with, against Jerry Han losing, 2 Ash Blossom. Like I said, I swapped out for a 3rd one afterwards, and you'll see the new deck profile after my regionals. But we have 3 Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. This is an obvious reason why it is Engage. 2 Shark Cannon, MVP, and especially versus Orcus, I really like it, and this is something that I've grown fond of. So, 2 Shark Cannon. 2 Foolish Burial Goods as an obvious for Metaphors Fusion. 2 Twin Twisters instead of MST because it kind of lets me stack up Grave, and if you go second, it's better than MST. So 2 Twin Twisters. We were still running 2 Pod Desires, which I actually plussed off with pretty decently. I drew an Engage and then Impermanence, so that was not bad, and didn't really banish too much stuff. But afterwards, I'm gonna try without Pot and see how well I do. We got 2 Area 0, common. Not much has changed from our idea of this. 2 Mystic Mine, but like I said, second tournament, I swapped one out for an Ash. Our one-ofs are Terraforming, Multi-Roll, Widow Anchor, Afterburners, Jamming Waves, Ego Boosters, Hornet Drones, and Hercules Base. Nothing should need to be said about this, considering that 3 of them are on the ban list, 2 of them are just situational, and another one's on the ban list. So that lineup is pretty specific. I run Ego Boosters now, though, because for the Draco matchup, it protects me from their popping effect, so I don't have to waste a Ray effect. So, yeah. 1 Rhoda, 1 Metaphors Fusion, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Cyanite Universe instead of the second Hercules base. That's what we have for spells. Moving on to traps, we have 3. There can only be 1s. A beautiful Floodgate, better than Summon Limit, I find, because you can play around it kind of easier than Summon Limit in some situations. 2 Infinite Impermanents, but like I said, if you cannot afford Infinite Impermanents, go for the Effect Failures. It's the same thing, and I'm not using it much different than Effect Failure. 2 Solemn Strike, and not much should be said about that. It's just a pretty good negate, and losing the equivalent of 1 Ray attack is not such a bad thing, considering you can attack with Ray and then most likely go for a direct attack. And 1 Metaverse for the Mystic Mines. Moving on to extra deck, it's not much different other than a couple cards. For the Sky Strikers, we just run 1 Kagari, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate, and 1 Kaina. Now, 3 Shizuka and 3 Ante I like because time and around is very important, and Shizuka's plussing effect is also very important. So, kind of, that's how I use them. 1 Barricade Borg Blocker. You can put like Undercloud Tiger if you wanted to, but I just do Barricade Borg Blocker because he's also protection, so if I do need to sit on him, at least there's that. The Nightmare Engine, it's generic, it's good. 1 Ningirsu, because he's pretty easy to summon, and that remove field effect is really good when you're going against like Thunder Dragons or the BLS Link or anything else that has like anti-destruction effects. Topologic Bomber Dragon and Borreload. Now, not much to be said. Topologic is actually pretty generic, and I actually like it. So just Ningirsu, then Ray, then you have that. And then set Horner Jones, pass if you have to. Moving on to side deck. We have 2 Lancia, 2 Pankratops, and this is pretty generic. 2 there can only be ones for the, the combo decks when they make a nice field. 2 Mind Controls to mess with my opponent. Dino World Wrestling to get a Pankratops, and it's also a spell card, and it's also searchable with Terra, so it's a little bit better. 2 D-Barrier for the Heroes, the Thunder Dragons, and also the Pendulums. And also for the Arcus, if you really don't like Ding. We got 2 Heavy Storm Duster for back row, and 2 Bear Reboot.